It's great to have you back, lads. It's really nice to chat to you again, and it's great, I think, to have the show kind of coming out now, just to make people, give people a bit of a laugh. And you're officially bigger than the Late Late Show now. You're taking over the slot.
I know. That's what we were gunning for.
That was the aim 5 years ago. Yeah. That was the aim. Nick Ryan's job.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the season goes well, and I'm sure it will, like the other season, you could be like the first co-host of the Late Late. If that slot goes well, the ratings go up.
Yeah. That'd be it, and the only guests we get on are ourselves, so we just have constant exposure. It's like a magical.
It's a vicious circle.
A wheel of self-promotion. Yeah.
Yeah. How have the last few months been for you? Have you been like everyone else, kind of going out of your mind? Have you had a few scripts, a few projects put on the back burner? How have you been keeping?
Yeah, it's been. I've learned a lot just from about 25 Zoom quizzes. God, the amount of general knowledge I have now is just. Yeah. I said, do you think the level of the average score of quizzes now will go up in pubs?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that's a good point. One of my good friends, Santino. Mention him in this, he'd love it. He did a quiz every week, which was class. There was about 30 people, but he was just the best quiz host. But yeah, I would come pretty much second to third last every week. Mm-hmm. So then I bowed out for the last few weeks. I couldn't take it anymore.
That's probably with cheating as well, is it, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, no.
Shut
up.
We'll chat a bit about season 3, lads, but I have to ask you about season 2, because the last time, hiya, Hillary.
Hi, sorry guys.
No problem at all. I have to ask you, because the last time I chatted to you were all very good with your poker faces, in that you told me something was coming up in season 2, but you couldn't talk about it. And you now have this amazing accolade that you're the only people that told Roy Keane to F off and got away with it. So what was that like collectively?
Yeah, in the script, was it just one of us? But we all were arguing. We were like, no, I want to tell him to fuck off. No, so we all did a collective.
Yeah, I think the script was originally me, actually, because Peter came into me rubbing his hands going, I've got this beauty for you. And I was like, oh, yes, nice one. And then it was like, no, we all do it. Okay, fine.
I think on the day we all took turns. Like, okay, now, Chris, it's your turn to tell him. And it was my turn. And he wasn't too happy with it.
My favorite bit was then it was like we go for improv takes and we just be saying fuck off to him. Then all of a sudden Alex then started shouting the most horrific things at him in an improv take, and we were just laughing about it. Then he came back to the window and was like, I heard what you said. It was terrifying.
Yeah, lovely guy though.
Alex Murphy, you've got one pair of brass balls on you if you're literally insulting Roy Keane for a day.
No, but you know, that's the thing. Everyone thinks that Roy Keane is like terrifying. I think he's a puppy dog. I think he's amazing.
No, he was great. There was a and I got my dad and my brother on set that day because they would have been huge Man United fans as well. So it was just kind of good to. He was chatting away to them, and he was a gent.
Yeah, he's
great. Season 3, lads, I love the way we just jumped straight into it with the parenting, and a lot of it rang home because after watching it, I was reminded my mother actually forgot me in a shop as well. So it seems like this universal bad parenting thing, and there's even the line that every parent is crap when they start. What was it like filming the scenes with the 2 little girls? Were you more parental? Were you kind of like treating like, oh my God, it's like a little time bomb on set, you have to be extra careful around it? And how did you find those scenes, lads and Hillary?
This is a more general calmness on set, isn't there? Because you're very aware that there's this human being who hasn't been tainted by life is on set, so there's no stress, no swearing. Everyone's like, okay, we're going to move over here. So it was good. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. And they were absolute legends, the 2 of them. We had twins, so we can kind of swap them out when one's sleeping or whatever.
Penny and Nola Richardson were their names. And
they're going to be big.
They were just a joy. Honestly, they were just such gorgeous kids, and it's also very professional. Like, you know, as kids go, they were just like always smiling and laughing, and occasionally then when one of them was crying, the other one could just get swapped in, and we'd continue filming. But they actually just reacted to stuff as well, like in just amazing ways. And did you see that when we said that? She just, you know, and a lot of it got caught on camera, thankfully. That I think that makes some very special moments in the episodes.
I felt like I was betraying my own baby because I had just had a baby, and then I, was going to work. I went back to work early to do the Young Offenders, and then there was a baby on set. So I was like, I can't even talk to that baby because I'm betraying my own baby. But the lads handled it perfectly. They were great. They were great at like soothing the babies and entertaining them. And obviously the parents were there the whole time, but during takes, like, Chris or Alex would have them, and they did a great job. I was really impressed with them.
And I tell you, 16 years now, there could be a little spin-off, because she's not a bad little actor. I mean, like the look she gives you in the car spinning out of control and reaching for the cigarette. So if Peter wants to write a female-led show in future with Star in the lead, who knows,
And Irish Freaky Friday. No, is that the one where the twins? No.
Yeah, it is. No, it's Parent Trap.
Parent Trap. An Irish Parent Trap. Mammy Trap.
Lads, I have to ask, the second episode, the English accents are all over the place. They're genuinely great at being bad. How in the name of God did you land on them, or was it just like whatever comes into the head?
No, we were so aware that we were like, these lads wouldn't be able to do perfect English accents. And I like to think that we can do quite good English accents. So it was just the two of us gauging how good and how much, where will we let it slip, and where will we, if we make it more farcical, and that's what we landed at. So
it's good bad acting, if that's a compliment I can give you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's
and Hilary, for me, I think that was my favourite episode, because I got the vibe. It felt like a play, kind of one set and just for you and Dom. And even you go through the spectrum of the emotions. Like there is the drama beats that Mairead is disgusted at what she finds out about the two lads. And then like 90 seconds later, there's this like hilarious moment when you're like flirting and punching and, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
What was that scene like to film for you?
It was great fun. I mean, when we read it, we were like, my God, that's a really weird scene, because I think it's even referenced in the script. I don't know if it made the cut or not, but it's one of the lads says something like, is that what flirting is? Where it's like screaming at each other and punching, then kind of being sexy, and it was all really weird. And it ends up with, is there a spoiler? It ends up with a kiss, whatever. But yeah, it was fun. It was actually exhausting though, because we had to do it from all different angles. And so in a sense, you're because I had to get physical with Dom and punch him, like obviously I can't really punch him, so I had to pull my punch the whole time, which is actually more exhausting trying to pull a punch rather than punching somebody. I don't know if you've done that. So we had to do it from all different angles, and the second I finished that scene, I was like, cool, I'll just sit down and have a coffee. And I actually sat down and just fell fast asleep in a chair, and someone threw a blanket over me. But yeah, it was great. That was a great day. I really enjoyed, not day, it was done over a period of time, but I really enjoyed all that. And like you're right, it felt like a stage play almost, even when we were filming it as well, it felt like that. So
yeah, I remember that episode. It was a lot different because we weren't traveling all over the place. It's set in one location, and I don't know, I felt like I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh, it's not very Young Offender-y, but I think that's what Peter's great at. A lot of different episodes are different kind of themes and different genres, and I've seen that episode now, and I'm very happy with it. It's a lot different to the other ones.
Yeah, I loved it. There's a scene, Chris, that reminds me one of my favorite scenes, my favorite from The Goonies, when Chunk in the film tells his truth, and they're like the most uncomfortable, horrendous truths that you never want to say, and the stuff that comes out of Jock's mouth is just like, oh my God, like we know you're trying to be right, but Jesus, put a sock in it.
Yeah, you're like, stop.
I thought it was a lovely moment. And I have to ask, you say all these different techniques, and you said with the accents before, but drunk acting, lads, what in the name of God is that like? Because there's an entire episode that revolves around you. You play it so well. I mean, how was that to film?
I always think with drunk acting, I try to be sober. Rather than try to act drunk, I try to act sober.
Okay.
Because when you're drunk, you're trying to act sober, or you don't really fully realize that you're drunk. So for me, I was trying to act sober, if that makes sense. That's the way I was trying to do it. I don't know.
Lads, were you method on set, or like, was that like apple juice or something, or
what was the previous experience? We were preparing for months in advance of the weekend.
I'm a pioneer. I've never had a drop of beer in my life. Yeah, I know it's a weird one on camera. It's like you're shown drinking a load of pints. You almost don't have to do anything because everyone's like, no matter what you do, it's like, you're pissed. It doesn't.
Yeah. I think it's more with my eyes. I know my eyes can get a bit.
Yeah.
So I just acted as normally as I could. Just put a bit. My eyes has got a bit.
I can see it here now. I'm following you there. I can smell the booze from you now, but that's just good acting, though. Alex Murphy, where have you been hiding that lovely voice of yours for all these years?
No.
Oh, thanks, man.
Well, how many? And what was that like? Actually, was it like one take and done, one take Murphy magic, or did you take a while to warm up? Or
yeah. No, that took a little while. I was so excited when I read that. I was like, oh, I get a little solo, so hopefully it looks well on screen. It was a bit of a one take. Fuck yeah, it was a one take. It took no time at all.
And you mentioned earlier about pull and punch. Chris, you have a lovely little Rocky in Cork, I guess you can describe it. Moments. Did you do any like training? Did you take any serious hits in that? Because it was shot really well. It looked like a fairly visceral fight.
Yeah, well, when we were filming, I suppose it was. I mean, we're wearing gloves as well and stuff, and as long as we're not hocking the heads off each other, it's really not that sore. So we were getting a few knocks and stuff like that, but that was with Tommy McCarthy. He's one who was an All-Ireland champion boxer for many times. But I trained like I suppose Jock didn't really have to know how to box because that's it. But I saw it as an opportunity. I always enjoyed watching boxing, and I did a small bit of training over in London before for something else that never actually happened. But so I saw I as an opportunity to kind of do it again. So I enjoyed training like 3 times a week for it. It was a lot of fun. That was an awful lot of fun. We kind of shot that whole episode in a day, and we filmed it all 3 rounds, one after another, and did it about 15-20 times, I'd say. So I was absolutely wrecked, but it was a lot of fun.
Let me say, you look good taking a beating on screen. Obviously, I don't want any damage or harm inflicted onto you, but you sell it very well. And as I've always said to you, Hilary, whenever I meet you, you are my favourite person ever on screen to curse. And I'm so delighted that you get I wouldn't call it a monologue, but you get a lovely montage of your favourite F word.
Yeah.
Like Chris, how many takes did that take? And like, do you want it louder? Do you want it softer? Do you want it more angry? Like, what's the direction? Because your delivery is just, it's just stunning every time when I hear you curse.
Thank you. Practice.
Yeah.
So the director, Sean, he was great. He just said, okay, this is going to be a montage. He explained how he's going to cut it. And then he was like, it's going to be a montage, cut it all up. Just say it, and just say the F word as much as you can in many different sequences in any way you want to say it. And I'm not, and that was it. He was like, just go and just do it. And I was like, okay. So, and that's what you saw on the screen was just me cutting loose in every shape and form that I was allowed to do. So yeah, that was fun. They were fun days, actually.
Knocking out of the park. And I have to ask, when that long elongated scream, please tell me that wasn't genuinely you, because I'd imagine your vocal cords would have been wrecked after that.
Yeah, that was me.
Was it really? Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, and I actually, funny you say it, I have a bit of a rasp in my voice that I never had before, so I'm wondering if that was it.
The last time I saw you 2 lads, Alex and Chris, the makeup was even more impressive in person on those lovely suits. When that day when you go in and you read the script and it's set in the Debs and you see your costume, you look yourself in the mirror for the first time, did you just turn to each other and just start like breaking your piss laughing at each other at the absurdity of how you looked? Or were you just like, this is going to be class when we see each other on camera?
A bit of both, I think, wasn't it?
It's just very funny because you've got these great people working on you. You got Lorraine and Alva kind of really focusing, and it's all very serious for about 15 minutes, and you're like, yeah, that looks good, and then you all kind of stand back and you realize how ridiculous everyone's job is, and you ought to start laughing and be like, what are we doing with our lives? But no, I think people are going to enjoy that. It's quite out of the blue.
And one last one.
With a little tan. I'm a little bit pale these days.
You look great. One last one there, not to give too much of a spoiler. It kind of ends on a bittersweet note, in that here's hoping we see more stories. We all interested in hopefully coming back maybe for a few more episodes or movies, or who knows what the future has. Are we all interested?
You're great at rallying the troops.
We need this guy on set.
I think we all love spending time with each other, and we all love working together. And if there's a story to be told, then maybe we shall tell it. But yeah, at the moment, I just don't think we know that yet. But would I want to spend time with everyone again? Absolutely.
No.
Well, lads, I have to say, just like 2 seasons before in the movie, I really enjoyed it. He's knocked it out of the park. And it's going to be bigger than the Late Late Show, as I said. It's going to be the new Friday night thing that everyone in Ireland wants to watch on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Alex, Hillary, Chris, thank you so much for your time. Young Offenders, 24th of July. It's on RTE. 9:30. Everyone's going to watch it again. Everyone's going to love it. Great talking to you as always. And keep safe, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks a million, Paul.
Take it easy.